All right. Morning foursomes are out, Joe. They came out earlier today. We've had some time to look them over. So let's kind of run through them and I don't know, give our take, give our prediction, see how this morning's gonna start off. So 7:10 first tee time. We got DeChambeau and Thomas versus Rahm and Hatton. Next on the tee, we got Scheffler and Henley versus Oberg and Fitzpatrick. Then we got Morikawa and English versus McIlroy and Fleetwood. Then Cantlay and Schauffele versus McIntyre and Hovland. All right, let's start with the first match. You
Before we do that,
go ahead.
I'm
Go ahead.
happy. I'm happy about this because I can confidently say that the U.S. is going to be doing better when I wake up than they were last year or last Ryder Cup.
Oh, yeah, yeah, because they'll just be starting. So,
It's going to be 0-0. But
what do you think of this first match?
so I can see. I think I can see the thought process with what they're doing. Right. This goes back to what we were saying before. U.S. has to come out and make noise quick and early. And I think these first two matches, I mean, they're going to be tough, but I think these first two matchups, like that was what they're going for, right? So I'm going to lump them together. If I'm being honest, I think they have to have 2 points after the first two matches are over. I think they got these are two that they have to pick up, right? Bryson and JT. That should be a power squad. Bryson's going to be a bomber. JT's the more, you know, the sniper who can get you up close, right? Once he has the approach shot. Um, and then Scotty and Henley should hopefully they have a tougher matchup, I think, of the two, right? Oberg and Fitzpatrick are probably going to be tougher than the first matchup of Rahm and Hatton. But I mean, anytime you put Scotty out there, you got to hope to get a point. So I'm hoping that they have 2 points on the board when those first two matches are done.
Okay.
Your
So,
thoughts?
yeah, I'll start with DeChambeau and Thomas versus Rahm and Hatton. I see exactly what we went for. We're going for fireworks early. We're going for let's fire this crowd up. I I like this pairing, right? I didn't know, and we were talking earlier, right? We were talking about this whole like pairing like the steady Eddie with the fire guy. I never really thought about like what would two fire guys do together. And I'll tell you what, man, I'm happy about this one. I feel like they can come out of the gate hot. They can set the tone, right? I don't think, like I'm seeing a lot of people talk about this one is just lock up our point. I I'll be honest, out of all four of these, there's no lock up the point on any of these,
I,
okay? They're all going to be tough battles, but I will say I feel like this matchup leans slightly towards the US, right? So the Shambo Thomas, I feel like that's tilting our way for that one.
I agree.
When you get into the next matchup of Scheffler, Henley versus Oberg and Fitzpatrick, I agree. This one seems a little bit more tighter here. I know Scheffler's in it. I get he's the number one player in the world. It is alt shot, so it's not like he's playing his own ball all of the time. I think this is a little bit. This is going to be a little bit tighter of a match. Like I'm kind of 50-50 on it right now. I I could see this one kind of going either way and coming down to 16 through 18. Hole 16 through 18 for
to,
this one.
to put it in boxing terms, you have an opportunity for a knockout in the first match, and then the second match is going to come down to a decision, right? You're not going to have that kind of knockout. Not likely going to have that knockout punch. It's going to be a judge's decision. And to build on what you said, not only do I like the idea of pairing Bryson and JT together, I love putting them in the one slot, right? Because to your other point, are we locking up a definitive point to start? No. But are we locking up some definitive energy to start? Yes. And I think that's a good move. Get that energy going early because it's good. In these events, it's contagious, right? Scotty's the number one golfer in the world, but he's number one golfer in the world because he's kind of boring. So sending him out just to get a point in the one slot great, but it's not going to give you that. It's not going to give everyone behind him that little amp up. And I think, listen, the crowd was going nuts watching Bryson just bomb it off the tee, trying to drive the green. It was like a 397-yard shot, and he was just messing around up there trying to drive the green. And the crowd at the practice round was going nuts. That's going to roll right into this first tee shot, and that energy should hopefully be a great kickstart to the U.S.
Oh,
Squad.
yeah, I like how you put that, right? Like we're kicking it off with a lot of energy, but I
Mm-hmm.
also think we're kicking it off with one of our top pairings. We're
Yeah,
giving
agree.
ourselves the opportunity for a point right out the gate. And I like that. I like you need something to start the day off, right? We can't come out quiet.
Yeah,
We've got to come out with a lot of energy. I'm
let's move
seeing
in.
way too much fun being had on the European side. They look real loose right now.
Yeah,
We need to unsettle that.
I agree.
And
Let's move into match
I
three.
think this will be the match. This will be the pairing that gets the crowd going first thing in the morning.
Oh, 100%. And I think no matter where this group was, that was going to be the case.
All
Um,
right, let's go to Morikawa English versus McIlroy Fleetwood. I'm gonna start off here. Probably the toughest match we're gonna face all morning. I
yeah,
mean, McIlroy and Fleetwood, probably two of the most dominant players in the more recent Ryder Cup uh, matches. Um, yeah, I don't even know if Morikawa in English will even come close to winning this matchup. To be honest with you, that's my
I,
opinion, right?
I don't think so either.
Like
If we got a half a point here, it would be a tremendous win.
be lucky to get a half a point
Yeah,
here.
I don't.
This
I
one
see
could be
this.
this one could be over early.
I'm actually happy that they have such a strong pairing against what's obviously our weakest pairing of the four.
Yeah,
So
it feels like Luke Donald basically was like, "This is going to be our guaranteed point."
yeah, let's go get our
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
All right, and we
So I
close
mean,
out the morning sesh. Cantlay, Schauffele, McIntyre, Hovland. What do you got here?
if I'm grading the four matches, I think this is probably our second best chance to get a point of the four, above Scotty and Russ. Um, no disrespect to McIntyre and Hovland, right? They're both very capable and can get out there. And I like this pairing of Schauffele and Cantlay, and I think they're going to bring some energy tomorrow. I'm hoping for a full point for the U.S. on this one, and I'm a little bit more confident about the potential to do that here than I am in match two.
Yeah, so I'm with you, right? Like I think this one it's tilting towards Cantlay, Schauffele as well, right? Like so the Shambo Thomas, it's tilting our way. Cantlay, Schauffele, it's tilting our way, right? Like and again, you're right. Like it's going to be a tough matchup. I'm not trying to take anything away from McIntyre and Hovland, but it's tilting our way.
Yeah,
Overall, um, I was a little bit shocked to see two names not in any of these pairings. Um, I'm kind of shocked to see like Henley and English. That's just my opinion. Henley and English in these pairings, right? Like I was expecting Young and Burns to be somewhere in here, and
agreed.
I think that they offer a little bit more firepower to these lineups, right? Like if you trade out Henley and English, like I would tell you right now, I see another point on the board.
What do you make of that if you're reading between the lines, right? Is there a reason that he's doing that to cue something up for later? Did he see something in the workouts where these guys were working particularly well together? What do you make of that? Like, or do you think he just saw it differently that these were his better guys?
I think that he saw something in the workouts where these guys were playing really well together and they were flowing. Um, I really hope that this is not like I'm saving something for later
Yeah,
because you brought this up on the last pod. We're not saving. I want to end this before Sunday,
yeah,
right? Like I know we're playing on Sunday. I get that. I want to end this as early as possible. So I want all the big guns out on the first four.
Yeah, I want every guy prepared to play 36 holes every day. And they're not going to have to, but I want every guy prepared to do
Everyone
it.
needs to be prepared, right? But I
Yeah.
wanted my big guns out first thing,
Yeah.
and I don't feel like we put our big guns out.
I'm
I'm
pretty
hoping
happy
it's
with the
because of
pairings,
I'm
but
hoping
yeah,
that's
like
because of what he saw during workouts. So guys,
yes, it's like what haven't we seen? So I'm hoping that it's one of these situations where like we don't know what we don't know. But initial gut reaction, agree, right? Like I did, kind of raise an eyebrow to that. So we will see. Um, all right, looking
yeah,
at
go
these
ahead.
matchups,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you two questions. One, what do you think the score will be after these four matches? And two, what do you think the score needs to be for the U.S. to put themselves in a good position to carry some momentum and potentially get to that 14 and a half points?
All right. So I think this is my prediction for the morning. We're walking out of here with no more than two, possibly 1 point.
Wow.
I think our like I was describing, I think our 2 points are DeChambeau Thomas and Cantlay Schauffele. I think the middle two matches are going to be tough to win, right? Scheffler Henley have a better chance of winning that match, I feel like, than Morikawa English. So
Yeah.
two, possibly one. Uh,
Okay.
that's kind of where I'm at. And then you asked me a second question. I'm gonna totally JT dub this answer. So the question was, what do we realistically need? I'm not looking at points right now after the first four, okay? Because I do feel like there's enough points left at this after four to make things up, okay? So what I am looking for though after the first four, and by the way, that'll change after afternoon session.
Right.
We'll have to have certain amount of points after the afternoon session, right? But I'm looking for, are we playing these? Are we in these matches? If we're in three of the four, I'll be happy. Even if we lose a match or two, but we're in it, I'll be happy.
Right.
So that's all I'm looking for after the first four. If we can walk away, not getting shut out, going 1 or 2 points, but we're in three of the four matches, I'm happy.
That's the other thing. There's a big difference between, losing the point on 16 or 17 versus losing the point on 12. You know what I mean? So hopefully
Absolutely.
that's not the situation.
All
But
right. How about you? How about you?
I'm
What?
not too so I was a little surprised by your answer, and I'm not too far off, right? Where you were saying, like, I'm hoping that we can get at least two and a half. Um, do I think we can? Yes. Do I think we will? I don't know. Um, I'm with you. If I was circling my two, I'd be circling match 1 and 4, right? That's where I think we get our two. And then I'm hoping that Scotty and Russell Henley can pull through to get at least a half. And I'm essentially conceding the point in match 3.
I think, but that's realistic, right? When
Yeah.
you look at this match, and by the way, who knows? Maybe we get surprised tomorrow. But realistically,
Yeah.
I mean, it's Rory and Fleetwood. We're
So
dominant.
listen, I think the key to it is going to be more often than not, we know what we're going to get out of Scotty, right? He's going to come out there and play very steady Eddie, as we always say. I feel like it's more like, are Oberg and Fitzpatrick going to beat themselves? Because we've seen they have a much wider variance in their game than Scotty, right? So Scotty comes in and plays steady Eddie and keeps them on track, and Russell Henley can kind of keep that pace. Then we kind of just have to hope for them to beat themselves, right? And that's where I think a split point there, a tie, is a lot more possible in that match than most of the others. Um, but yeah, a couple mistakes at the right times, and we might be able to steal half a point to a point on that. 3-1 would be incredible, but 2.5 would be just as good.
What do they need?
They need to,
Okay.
because I feel like it gets really dicey when we get into the one-on-ones. Um, so I feel like these are the rounds where we need to pull some points out.
Sure. Absolutely. All right, cool.
And then the last question,
Go ahead.
and this is a moving target, right? Because we got to see how does everybody look tomorrow. But gut feeling, right? If everyone on this list goes out and does what you expect that they are going to do based on the way that they've been playing, who on this list for the U.S. do you send back out in the afternoon?
Just single name, or do you want like actual team?
It doesn't have to be teams, because I mean, you know, so I'll
Depending
put
on
it
how they play, right? I want to see Scheffler back out there, Cantlay, Schauffele, DeChambeau, and Thomas.
I,
I, I
I'm on
I
this
think I think you need to see Young and Burns in the afternoon get into this lineup.
100%, and I'm in the same boat. If all goes well, I'd love to see Bryson and JT together again. But then
I wholeheartedly agree with that.
I think the rest of them we mix up a bit, right? Um, we give Scotty, you know, a Patrick Cantley to boost the energy and the the fire a little bit. Um, and then we mix up the rest of the guys. Like you said, pulling in the missing names from the morning, right? Why was Burns missing? Why was Young not on the list? So
And maybe he does have it where it's like, look, Henley and English offer a better matchup for foursomes, and maybe and Young will play in the afternoon because they're better at four ball.
yeah,
Fine, okay, if that's
it
it, then I'm good. I don't know what the thought process was. Would love to hear some of that, but
it could be something as simple and crazy as like, hey, these guys weren't able to play someone else's ball. You
could
know what I
be.
mean? Like
Yeah,
for you and I, it doesn't sound like that big of a deal, but it can mean a lot because the margins are so small at this level. Something as small as like switching your ball could be all the difference in the world. So
sure.
we will see, and then maybe we do another hit like this at some point tomorrow to see. We do a check in, see where we are, see what it looks like for the afternoon, and what our expectations are from that point.
Yeah, let us know what you guys think in the comments. We want to hear your opinion and check in with us tomorrow after the morning session. And we'll let you know how it goes and what we think of the afternoon session.
Yes, sir. Rest up. We got an early morning.
USA, USA.